Welcome to Layeth the Mat Down. Charlie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Beautiful
Awesome,
day.
awesome. How's your week been? Guys, both of you.
Just,
I don't care.
it's a lot. My week has been a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I got you.
You seem stressed. You always seem busy. I feel like whenever I'm talking to Charlie, I feel like he's very businessman-y. I get nervous. I'm always like, hey, what's going on? He's like, well, I'm working on this project. I'm at work till like 9 o'clock, and then I have this. I feel like Charlie lives this life. Like I'm sitting here like after work, I like go to the gym and then play video games in my underwear. Like
yeah, Charlie has an 8-hour work week, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well,
scary.
my job, to be fair, my job is a little different than yours, Jim. When you leave your job, you leave it at home. But I can bring my home. I am told, not really told, but to bring my homework with me. Like I have a laptop that I bring home, so it never leaves me. But I take what you just said as a compliment, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm glad I'm giving off that persona of being busy because I am. So
yeah,
a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So no one asked, but how I'm doing is very good. A few weeks ago, I made a Stone Cold Steve Austin quote generator as an iOS app. If you don't know, I'm an iOS developer.
That's amazing.
Explain it.
Yeah.
Explain what it does.
So let me get it. So we have an app. So you just press generate, and it gives you a new Stone Cold Steve Austin quote.
Can you say a couple of them?
Right now it says, and also I can appreciate the fact that, hell, you can kiss my ass. This one says, can I get a price check on a jackass? And then, why can't I be like Stone Cold? Because people like you make me sick. So, yeah. I'm going to release that into the App Store at some point. Still working on it. I'm thinking about doing... what was that?
Why did you make it, Matt?
Well, as one of my side projects, I want to do a website where I put on iOS like screencasts that teach iOS development. So that was going to be one of my tutorials. I'm going to show you how to make a Stone Cold Steve Austin quote generator.
Okay, that's pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please patent that right now, please?
I actually, I should. Oh yeah. Also in app news, have you guys heard of the app Rock Clock?
Yes, and I use it.
I just downloaded it. Yeah, if you haven't heard of it, it's an app, and it's basically an alarm clock, but it wakes you up with different songs that or like alarms that The Rock created. So like you can wake up to The Rock singing. You can wake up to The Rock saying beep, beep, beep. And also you can like set it to wake you up at rock time, which is means you wake up when The Rock wakes up. And then when it wakes you up, it gives you a motivational quote or video, and it you can tell it to basically give you like motivation to do whatever project you want. So you just tell the app, I want to say build a website, and The Rock will wake you up each day and give you motivation to build your website.
Yeah, you can set goals within it, and yeah, it's the perfect Monday morning alarm clock because my favorite part is the video message. So when you wake up, you confirm that you're up, and then you like click a button that says like start your day or something. And it goes straight to The Rock at like 4:45 in the morning, doing a Snapchat video about like how you're gonna attack the day, and that probably just happened that morning or something, and it's fantastic. I love it. I love it.
It's a great app. The only problem is I had an idea for an app that would remind you and wake you up every day and motivate you. It didn't involve The Rock, which makes this app like exponentially better than my idea. So it would have never survived anyway if I put it out first.
No, it would have been buried.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, so we're going with a more organized format for Lay at the Mat Down. So next we're gonna go with news and rumors. Give me all the hot goss.
The hot gossy, the juicy goss.
Have you been watching Camp WWE?
Oh yes, I have.
The
I actually
Goss.
really like it.
That's what
I
Vince
think it's
says.
pretty funny.
The Camp Gossip, the Sea Goss.
The sea guys. All right, yeah. So Charlie, you want to start off with the news?
I haven't watched Camp WWE, but I hear good things.
You should.
So this is actually happened exactly today. So the most relevant news and rumors, I guess, that I could bring up. And
get it right here on Layeth the Mat Down.
Right here on Layeth the Mat Down. I did break this news to you, fellow gentlemen, via text this morning on my walk to the L station in Chicago, Illinois. Holler! Shout out to Chicago. And basically, the news is that SmackDown is going to be airing live on Tuesday nights on the USA Network, starting July 19th. But it's going to feature its own segmented roster and storylines, which basically means brand split 2016. So I don't think it's the exact same rules as the brand split that happened like the first time in the early 2000s. It's hard to say it fast.
Yeah.
So that was the big news. And I have a couple rumors and questions to kind of ask you guys surrounding that. But I don't know. I would like to get your just like an initial take on the brand split and just like initial thoughts that pop in your head, like why is this a good idea, why is this bad, etc.
Cool.
Well,
go ahead,
Jim.
No, all right, cool.
Okay, I'll go.
How about this?
Okay.
You can start. I'll go next.
All right. Yeah. So actually, I have mixed feelings about the brand split. It's kind of cool to have it's almost like a separation of like two different kind of promotions, which I think is cool, and it'll give like the Tyler Breezes and the Apollo Cruzes like actual TV time. It's no secret Tyler Breeze is one of my favorite wrestlers, and I never see him. And when I do see him, he's getting his ass beat. And maybe if there is a separate thing for him that's maybe not as high profile as Raw. Like you never see Tyler Breeze on Raw except when he was jobbing to Apollo Crews. So I feel like it'd be good for some of the lower fan favorite types who Vince may not be as, keen on.
Right.
Yeah. But you can go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say, roughly around the same thing that you just said. I think it's great because talent has never been the issue. And giving more talent the opportunity to get TV time, grow as a performer, and then get better and get put later on into the mid-card or main event is it's definitely the best benefit from that. If you look at from a standpoint when they turned NXT from developmental to its own brand, it took off, it skyrocketed, it gained momentum, it was giving the younger guys, I shouldn't say younger, but it was giving the new guys to the company the chance to get familiar, and now this brand split is going to give the guys who are called up the opportunity to switch to getting used to the live TV, getting more reps, getting more opportunities, and growing as a performer. So from the talent standpoint, it's awesome. The one thing that makes me most nervous about it is from the writing standpoint, and that is because they struggle to put good storylines all the time on Raw, and people do get awkward, left out. Now, people won't be getting left out as much, but I don't know if the writers can write for two shows. I did read that they're going to have their own separate writers. Raw will have their own, and SmackDown will have their own, and that's awesome. But that's one thing that makes me nervous is can the writing keep up with the other show, and can they maintain this high level of? That's a lot of wrestling within 2 days as a viewer. So if you're a fan, you're watching a 3-hour Raw on Monday, and then you're watching a 2-hour SmackDown within a 2-day span. So like the writing to keep your attention has to be good. Otherwise you're gonna skip one or the other. You know, if you're locked for time.
Right. I think you hit the nail on the head, honestly, with the phrase of, you said NXT was developmental, but then it became its own brand. Like, that's the whole point of this, right? Like, SmackDown is not just a secondary show anymore that will feature, Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens, instead of wrestling, he's sitting at the announce table. Like, this is going to be its own brand. So I think that's like the key phrase that you just said right there, thus creating more importance for the people on it. Another thing to point out is that it should create competition between the shows. I know that in the past, the old SmackDown locker room, which I think was like Undertaker, Lesnar. This is the former brand split.
Guerrero,
Benoit, JBL, Mysterio, Angle. I've heard rumors of them getting pissed at people by saying like the Raw roster has more depth or is doing better. So I hope that the WWE in its height in the Attitude Era was the best because it had great competition. So I really hope this creates competition between the two brands. Like, if I were Vince, I would try to figure out some sort of fair bonus structure, because I know Raw is an hour longer, but some kind of fair bonus structure where if one show was doing better, then they were getting paid more money. Like, I think that would even create more competition for people to like give their full maximum effort on both shows. So
and to that point, what you just said about people getting paid, maybe that could allude to solving issues like the whole Ryback thing that just happened. And then I bring up the Ryback thing because he's in a bad spot. Maybe he'll get released, maybe not, because he wants equal pay. And now, Charlie, you have an interesting theory based on another recent release. Go ahead.
So, I mean, everyone knows the firing squad has been full guns blazing these past 4 weeks probably. Some it's been a mutual release, and WWE have agreed on terms to part ways with people. I think it started with Wade Barrett. A lot of talents. People thought he was used the wrong way and undervalued, and I'm sure he felt the same way. So he's like, you know what, I'm going to ask for my release. And WWE is like, okay. And then the Mizdow, who WWE couldn't really find anything to do with. I don't know why, but people loved him. We're chanting his name in SmackDown tag matches, and this is the first time we've seen him on TV in like 8 weeks when he was on. And then
in that Battle Royal.
Yeah. So that was kind of strike two, and I just think the straw that broke the camel's back was Cody Rhodes, and the reason why is because the other two I mentioned, it was an agreement of terms where WWE was like, okay, we're either going to release you or we'll give you your release, and like WWE, like in the Cody Rhodes case, they seem to be pissed and disagree with Cody's decision, based off of what I've read, that it. Like the contract termination, I guess, like wasn't really mutual, and there wasn't, I guess, a good send off, you could say. So because WWE knows how talented Cody Rhodes is, and well, it's their fault for not using him, but they probably wanted to keep him. Like deep down inside, they probably wanted to keep Cody Rhodes. So I think this was, and this is a theory, but I think this was a straw that broke the camel's back on. We need to do something with this overcrowded roster, and we need to give these mid-carders floating around doing nothing something to do. So let's do this brand split.
I like it. I could agree.
So I don't know, but I mean, like, he's so talented. I don't know how old or young he is, but he can't be that old.
No, he's probably early 30s.
Right. So you could squeeze 10 and 12 more solid years out of this guy if you give him like the right amount of time off in between. So yeah, I mean, this might have been like a red alert to them that not to lose someone as talented as Cody Rhodes that they didn't want to lose. I don't know.
Yeah, it was silly. Like, the man has so much talent, and he'll do whatever you ask him to do. It was just silly.
I feel like he was the kind of guy that they could have stuck out there got a good match out of him at almost any time, and they kind of relied on him. Like, oh, we got a segment to fill with the up-and-coming guy, or this guy's kind of on the fence. All right, Cody, go wrestle him. You can put on a decent show. You don't get a push. You're not getting, like, underused. You're just going to sit right in the middle. And I don't think he was content with that anymore.
Right, right, and that's respect. That's respect to him. That's anyone who's left a job for another job. Like you know that feeling, you know.
Yeah. I just did that.
Right. We've all been there, and I know we've said that Stardust is in the same respect as a Ziggler, right? So they're good at really getting people over, and they're good at losing and making other people look better. Same as Tyler Breeze. But you know that's not what Stardust wanted. So he wasn't content with being in that role. So. And they couldn't push him, though, because there wasn't a spot for a push. But now there is more spots.
It's sad that it happened right before they announced the brand split.
Right, go ahead.
On that note, I was going to say, like, your theory was that, like, you know, the wrestlers leaving. I think it was, if there was a main motivation, and I read this, I don't want to take credit for this idea, and I can't remember who said it, but they were saying that the main motivation behind the brand split is that so wrestlers on average would work then 52 less days a year, causing less injuries, causing less prevention to the storylines getting ruined. Just like last year, they had all this great stuff set up for WrestleMania, only for it to get foiled due to injury. They had to go to their B and then C plan, and I think now they're looking at, all right, we're asking a lot of these guys to wrestle on Mondays, on Tuesdays, at house shows, at pay-per-views, and I think this is just one avenue to say, all right, you're going to take one less work day, and you'll get more TV time, and maybe injuries will get cut down now.
Right. Yeah, that's another really good point, honestly. I think I saw a Mad Men podcast. I put over Mad Men a lot because I like them. And I think I saw them tweet that, but I don't know if they were the originator of that thought. Who knows? But another great point, Jim. Cut down on injuries. And I think it'll also not oversaturate some storylines. Like, it seems like sometimes, no, you can't really advance a storyline any further, so it's just like, well, we'll have them watch a match and do commentary at the table. And it's just like, it just seems like a filler thing to do on SmackDown. So... I don't know. Maybe segments will mean more now.
Yeah.
Belts should mean more now.
Yeah, let's go into that.
Yeah.
All right. So from what I've heard on WrestlingNews.com is that the intention is to create a separate title for the SmackDown brand. So Raw would have its own world champion. SmackDown would have its own world champion. The Intercontinental title would be on one show. Not specified yet. The United States title would be on the other show. And then the interesting news, I think, is that as of right now, since there's only one women's belt and no undercard belts for the women's division, that the entire women's division would need to be on one show, while the tag team division would be split between both shows. I want to ask Matt what your thoughts are on splitting up the titles, if you would do it differently, or if you think the way that they're handling it is a good idea.
I think it's all right to split the titles up. I don't really get why you put all the women on one show. That I feel like that's a little. I guess it sort of makes sense, but why keep all the women on one show and then split up the tag teams? Like, because is one group of tag teams not gonna have a championship? That's weird to me.
I think it's like maybe because I think they should create a women's tag team belt or a women's undercard belt. That way you could have two different shows with women on them. But the most interesting
thing. Bring back the butterfly title. Bring back the Tramp Stamp belt.
No.
Fucking call them divas again. Anyways, my last rumor, and then I promise to be done with rumors, is I've also heard on the interwebs that there is a potential since they are reaching out for more equality within the women's division, that there could be announced a ladder match for Money in the Bank for a women's Money in the Bank match.
That would be awesome. That is actually awesome.
Whoa, I like that. I really like that.
Yeah. There's very rare like women's stipulation matches. Like I remember NXT had like a battle royal for like the #1 contender spot for the championship, but besides that, I haven't seen much of that. That's actually a great idea.
I think it would be, imagine the pay-per-view card coming like IC title defense, US title defense, women's Money in the Bank, men's Money in the Bank, and then your title match. That would be a great card.
Yep.
Card. Yep.
I'm kind of doing a layout here, and I'm looking at like the shows and the belts. And I know that in the past we've talked about an addition of a belt. So I want Jim to touch on like the rumor or the idea that his friend came up with of the WWE champion being on both shows. But I'm like looking at the belts, and I really think that the IC title belt would actually be good on SmackDown, because that obviously the Intercontinental division is always the most athletic and like the cool and like the best matches. I think that would be a good SmackDown main events sometimes.
Also with Morrow calling those matches.
Right. He knows the difference between a head scissors takedown and a hurricanrana. Michael Cole does not know the difference between that.
Oh, God.
But, I mean, obviously, and I mean, there's the Cruiserweight division coming. Like, Jim, do you want to touch on that maybe, and, like, where a potential belt may be added?
Yeah, sure. I cannot take credit for the Cruiserweight rumor, but a friend of mine reached out to me lately saying that he has read a couple articles saying that WWE is not going to waste this opportunity to add a Cruiserweight title back to the either NXT show or one of the two main brands now, since they're doing this Cruiserweight tournament. Why not take the whole tournament and then in the finals reveal that the winner of this Cruiserweight inter-tournament would be crowned the new Cruiserweight champion on NXT? And then that'd be a great way to, give a new guy who got signed via this tournament, or maybe you give it to one of the guys who is secretly already signed, like a Ciampa or a Gargano, who already has a contract with the company but still wrestles these indie shows because their contract allows them to. You give them the Cruiserweight belt and then let them take it to these promotions. So imagine if Ciampa took the Cruiserweight belt from WWE, goes to an AAW show in Chicago and says, I'm going to defend my Cruiserweight belt. Obviously, he doesn't lose it, but it's a great way for people to get like, oh, did you see when Ciampa wrestled so-and-so at this indie show? Then WWE gets more talent in, it's more eyes viewing their product, it's more, branding for their brand. So I think introducing a Cruiserweight belt and floating it around NXT in some capacity could be awesome.
And that would be similar to... That'd be similar to like an NWA championship, how like Ric Flair would travel around with a belt, and he would always make the like top guy at every promotion look amazing, but they would never beat him. But it would like give you like the kind of thought that, oh, next time if Ric Flair didn't cheat, our guy would have beat him, and that would like raise up like the ticket sales and all those small promotions all over the place.
Right. Or if go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it would help WWE like scout more talent as well.
And then there's the surprise factor. Say they do sign another Cruiserweight, and Ciampa goes to a local show, let's say, and he does lose the Cruiserweight title. You don't think, and then that guy who just won it from him shows up on NXT or like SmackDown the following week because they secretly signed him.
Yeah. I know you guys keep saying Ciampa, but we know who's gonna win the Cruiserweight belt.
Oh yeah, we do.
Drew Gulak.
Oh, that's who I'm rooting for.
Yeah, me too.
I'm actually pro Ciampa, but Gulak's amazing.
I love Ciampa. I like Ciampa more than Gulak, honestly. But yeah,
and then
I'm a Ciampa mark.
I know you asked me as well about the title situation splitting up, and I like the idea of a floating champion. It doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Yeah. But if they do really turn it into two brands, like if SmackDown is its own show and it's a little edgier and geared towards the smarts more than the marks, then I wouldn't want it to be a shared champion. But I would then it would beg the natural question, just like when WCW was against WWF back in the day, it was always who would win, Austin or Goldberg. And you'd sit there with your buddies and you'd argue and argue and argue. It would create a type of, all right, well, I bet you Kevin Owens, the SmackDown champion, would kick the shit out of Roman Reigns, the Raw champion. And then every so often you should have them have to wrestle for, like, this sounds dumb, but, like, the ultimate WWE champion. I mean, it's an interesting look on things. But the other belts, like you said, the Intercontinental on SmackDown, you need to let prestigious guys win belts. So that way, like, imagine if the Intercontinental went to SmackDown and Randy Orton wins it. And you're like, whoa, Randy's not, he shouldn't be messing with that belt. He's above that belt. Let's say he wins the Intercontinental and you're like, whoa, the Intercontinental is a major deal on this show. And then you have a young kid take it off him. Let's say, imagine land, Finn Balor gets called up, takes it off Randy. You're like, whoa, that was, you had a high-profile guy. This belt means something. Do you remember how exciting U.S. title matches were when Cena was defending it?
Yeah, exactly.
We watched one recently at the Squared Circle. Good match. Yeah. Exciting
things are happening right now, boys. In the words of Drake, what a time to be alive.
It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It is.
It is. So great.
Also, another idea would be to bring back the European title, put it on Breezy. Of course, but that's just a fanboy dream that we all have.
I mean, I'm sure one of his seasonal residences are in Europe, so like, I'm sure a lot of them are. So obviously, it would be very accurate.
You can follow Tyler Breeze at Charles on Twitter.
Yeah, Charles.
Charles. Just kidding.
It's gorgeous with 3 M's.
All right. Well. A lot of things to think about, more developments to come in the future, but I will allow Matt to introduce the next segment on our list here.
The next segment is the Triple Threat Recap, where each one of us poses a question and the other two must answer it. And there are no disqualifications.
Nothing is off. Yes. Nothing is breaking the rules. Everything is on the line.
Even thumbtacks. Even thumbtacks. Triple threats are not false count anywhere, Charlie.
Oh, sorry. You should call me Michael Cole for that one. I don't know the rules of the damn matches I've been watching for the past 15 years.
Oh, God, I hate Michael Cole.
All right, Matthew, since you just did a fantastic intro, why don't you ask your triple threat question?
My question is Ryback done? Will we ever see Ryback in the WWE again?
No.
It's also audio. You can't just shake your head, Charlie.
I said no.
Charlie says no.
Ryback will be fed no more, and he will starve.
Oh, God.
I will then jump in and say that he hasn't been fired yet. As weird as this sounds, I do talk to like this one adult who has 2 kids, and every time I see him and he brings up wrestling around me, he always goes, "Oh, I really like Ryback. Man, me and my boys really like Ryback." And I'm sitting there like, do I tell this guy he's dumb, or do I just I'll just let him be? I think Ryback has potential and Vince likes the meatheads. I'm going to counter Charlie's opinion and say we will see Ryback in the ring again, potentially not in a major role, but we will see him again. That's my pick.
Have you ever seen Ryback in a major role? Maybe before I was watching, but I think there's I'm going to say there's a 40% chance we'll see Ryback back. Ryback back.
Ryback back.
Yeah.
Back.
I feel like he's really improved with his in-ring style. And his last match in WWE at Payback.
The Kalisto match.
Yeah. I thought that was a great match,
Yeah.
and I feel
Yeah.
Vince probably pardon my French, he probably jizzes in his pants every time he looks at Ryback. So I feel like why would you fire a guy like that? I don't know.
Look at all those muscles.
Yeah. Also, a corollary to my question is, will that Tumblr post that he made make any difference? Like, will anyone in WWE consider what he said about how winners and losers should get paid the same thing and stuff like that?
No, I don't think that's going to change. I think that I think their answer. I mean, there's always going to be agents and there's always going to be contract bargaining and I mean, people like Shinsuke Nakamura have the reputation. They're obviously going to demand more money. Like that's not going to. That's just economics.
Yes, but his argument is the only reason why Shinsuke is cool and I'm not, or so and so is cool and I'm not, is because you as a company chose to book them that way. So I'm going out and wrestling, and they're going out and wrestling. But the only reason that this person is so quote cool is because you booked them that way. That is his argument. I don't agree.
That's not true. Yeah, he's wrong.
I think that a part of it. Go ahead, Matt.
Roman Reigns wins all the time. Is Roman Reigns cool? Fuck no. Roman Reigns is lame as shit. That's my counter to Ryback. Hopefully he won't find me because he's big and scary.
A part of wrestling is they give you the platform, and then you take what they give you, and then you have to also get yourself over. Whether that's in the ring or during your promos. And it doesn't mean it as a babyface role. Look at when Seth first turned heel. Everybody booed, like he said, when he turned on the Shield. And then as he developed as a heel, you were like, dude, his heel work is so good, and he's making the most of these promos. And now he's become he's a top merch guy. I'm sure the fans went bonkers when he returned. So I think Ryback is wrong in this sense. And then there's also the debate that he should earn the same amount of money as AJ Styles when AJ Styles knows for every move Ryback knows, AJ knows 20 more. So
exactly. Right. I want to see Ryback do a 450 splash, off the a springboard 450 splash. I'd like to see that.
All right. Are you ready for my triple threat question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask a person, and then I'll ask the next. So, I will start with Charlie first. Charlie, I want you to give me one male and female wrestler who will benefit most from this brand split, and why.
Oh, one male and female wrestler who will benefit most from brand split. This might be a cop out, but I really think we've used him as an example, but I'm gonna go with Tyler Breeze as the male wrestler.
I was hoping you wouldn't. I would have answered that.
Yeah, honestly, really gotten lost. It's like he had one storyline when he came up in NXT, won a match at Survivor Series, and then lost in the shuffle immediately. Like I don't think he's been given a fair chance to try to get himself over on the main roster. So. I think he will have another chance, and that is why this will benefit because he will have more airtime now. Female wrestler, I really think that Naomi is underrated. She's injured.
She's amazing,
but
she is ridiculous.
She's amazing.
That was good. Also, another really the theme is that Breeze and Naomi. The way, not the way that wrestling fans rate them, but the way that they are treated on the main roster in terms of time is not as much as they should be. So I think Vince probably underrates them.
Yes.
And I think when Naomi comes back and is in a really good feud, it doesn't even have to involve the belt. There's just enough time on Raw to do it, a really good secondary women's feud.
Yes.
I think she'll benefit from that.
All right, Matthew.
It's a good question.
Now I want you to the same question proposed to you, male and female, who benefits most?
Okay. Female, I think Paige. Um, Paige is like very popular. She's very attractive, obviously. So like all you have to do is put her like on TV and people will want to watch her. I don't think she is a good wrestler, but I don't think her wrestling ability matters because she is so hot. And also like for people our age who grew up in the time of like goths and emos, we're just naturally attracted to her. Our friend Pat wants to marry her, and he was heartbroken when the Del Rio news came out. So, male, that's tougher. Oh yeah, also an honorable mention. I think Natalia would also benefit from a brand split. Same reason, more airtime. Well, not the same reason, more airtime, and she is a very underrated wrestler, similar to Naomi.
Yep.
Male. Oh God, I want to say Tyler Breeze but you already took that. Obviously Tyler Breeze. Apollo Crews, I believe. It seems like he's entering into a feud with Sheamus, and I don't feel like Sheamus is like quite main event level, but like having a feud with him will like elevate you. So but that a feud between Apollo Crews and Sheamus is not going to get the time it needs to like build up on Raw. So like having that feud on SmackDown would probably help them a lot. So
All
yeah,
right,
that's my answer.
I like both answers. Neither of you gentlemen said the two that I had written down, and I like that because it means we all think a little differently.
Yes.
I'm not going to give too much of a reason, but the female I had was Becky Lynch because she never got the NXT rub, got called up kind of fast with the rest of the girls, and even though she was in the WrestleMania triple threat main event for the women's title, and it was fantastic, she has now taken a dramatic fallback. Her storylines are secondary, and I feel like she needs to be able to. She could or can lead a division, but maybe this gives her a little bit more opportunity. But if they do keep the women all on one show, I don't know. Maybe that means they'll still get more airtime, though. Maybe they'll need more girls. 3 hours with a limited roster means more wrestling matches for everyone. And so maybe she'll get more matches from this. And then my guy is also a member of my fantasy team, Adrian Neville, who should be, when he returns from injury, he should be treated as a guy who could go out and win either the United States belt or the Intercontinental. He shouldn't have to be doing these comic book feud type situations anymore. So,
well, there's no Stardust, so he won't have to.
Yeah. So hopefully he can capitalize from that. All right, I like it, boys.
Yeah. I was gonna say something about the Becky Lynch thing. Oh yeah. And like Becky Lynch, she was even like the third fiddle in the main event, the WrestleMania like match. So it was, yeah, I feel like she would really benefit from that. Anyway, go ahead. So,
I think it shows that we all are in favor of the brand split because we can all think of really good examples, and we could even probably throw in like an honorable mention too of someone else.
Yeah. So. All right. All right. Next, we're gonna go over our fantasy. What?
Whoa, I got a question, bro.
Yeah, sorry, Charlie.
Is National Wine Day catching up with you, Matthew?
No, that was like the false pin right there. It was the one, the two, and then Charlie kicked down and said, "Wait a minute, I still got something to say."
There were so many things at Extreme Rules. We have not even recapped Extreme Rules. Now I'm realizing.
It's because today was what a day to be alive.
Yeah.
Here. We can do it a little bit. So when Matt and I watched Extreme Rules together, and I thought that from top to bottom, it was probably the best pay-per-view of the year. And I know that's bold saying over WrestleMania, but I thought it was a really good pay-per-view.
I don't even think it's bold. I think it was like by far the best pay-per-view.
Right. So, but one of the matches, and this is around my question, like ended really poorly, and this is like a classic case of overbooking, I think, and that's the match with Charlotte and Natalya. My question to you guys is just as a whole, what would you have done differently at Extreme Rules, and where do you go with Charlotte's storyline right now?
Can I answer first? Well, I think the obvious thing is don't even bring out Dana Brooke. Just have a clean finish. Why is Dana Brooke even involved? Why can't Dana Brooke... I like Dana Brooke. I think she's a good character. I think she's pretty good on the mic. I don't know if she can wrestle or not. I haven't seen enough. But I just, I don't understand why she always is, playing, the sidekick to people. Like, she was Emma's sidekick. Emma gets hurt. Now she's Charlotte's sidekick. Why? Why can't she stand on her own? It doesn't make any sense. And why even... There's no explanation why she's even cool with Charlotte. Maybe there's some backstory in NXT why she is cool with Charlotte. But it really doesn't make any sense. And it makes no sense to me, that Dana Brooke as a character would want to be, someone's sidekick. Everything else about her seems like she would want to be the best. She's a bodybuilder. She's, a loudmouth. She's rude. She cheats and stuff. But, why would she... But why would that go with someone who wants to be, someone's, sidekick? I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. I think it's dumb. And as far as Charlotte's storyline, I liked her promo that she cut on Ric Flair. The only thing I would change is that Dana Brooke wasn't standing in the ring doing nothing. And I
agree with everything you're saying. Honestly. Jim?
I have a different reason why I don't like it, but I do agree with a majority of it. I think Dana Brooke's character, to Matt's question of why is she sidekicking all the time, is because I think in the industry, and it's kind of an old school booking scheme, is she's the heater. She is, what she was for Emma was she was the heat. She'll go out there, she's the one that pats the announcer on the head, and you want to boo her. She's the one that pisses off the crowd, you want to boo her. She's the one that cheats, you want to boo her. She's the one that interferes, you want to boo her. So she's the heater. She's the one that's going to get heat for the one that she is accompanying. However, to your credit, so if Dana's a good heater, and you want, just like they use China with Triple H is out there, China's the heater. China was just the heater at all times. Why would you give Charlotte a heater when she just had a heater for 4 months, and the heater was Rick? And Rick was everything that Dana already does. Cheats, is sketchy, distracts people. You already have a heater in Rick, so why are you replacing Rick as the heater and then putting in Dana Brooke? If Dana Brooke's going to heat for someone, have her heat for have her heat for another heel wrestler that's not Charlotte. Give her Emma. I mean, well, not Emma, sorry. Give her Banks.
You can make her a heater for a male.
Anybody. Yeah, put her, Alexa Bliss is the heater for
Blake and
Murphy, and it works. So I agree with you. Stupid decision.
Yeah, it was very silly.
Yeah.
And also, wait, one more thing. Also, Charlotte's whole thing about her promo is that she doesn't need her dad anymore. But all she proved is now she needs Dana Brooke. It doesn't make any sense. I guess she's supposed to be the cowardly heel, but it felt almost like they were going towards a babyface turn, but not. They're slowly going there, but it just didn't make any sense. Why get rid of one person and like Jim was saying, why get rid of Ric Flair and replace her with Dana Brooke, who's clearly going to be a worse heel. You can't get a better heater or heel than Ric Flair. I don't understand
Right.
it.
The best heel of all time. You're replacing the best heel of all time with Dana Brooke.
Mm-hmm. And then Charlie, you said just different things in general about Extreme Rules and what you like to have seen different or something, or why some decisions were made. Is that what you said?
Well, I think you guys kind of said what you would want to see different, but like, where would you go now with it? I guess.
The IC title picture, whoever's writing that storyline needs to be given a raise, because that is how you do it. You get a guy like Cesaro with momentum, you put him against the heel champion. Then you get two other guys who want the belt but have their own separate feud, which gives you an intriguing fatal four-way match. Any one of those four guys could be champion at any time, and I think the three of us here would be like, okay, that's great.
Yep. It was perfect. That match was perfect.
It was perfect, and they have to develop that same outlook with the World Heavyweight title. It can't just be, it's this guy's turn, and then it's this guy's turn, now it's this guy's turn. I think what they should do, and they're not going to do, is AJ's going to go away after he lost to Owens. He's going to start his own feud with the club, because the club turn is coming. They keep teasing it. And then insert Seth. Now it's Seth's turn with Roman. After Seth's turn with Roman, who's it going to be after that? The only way they could change that, which I think I'm kicking myself in the ass for not drafting Dean Ambrose, is if they let Dean win the Money in the Bank, and then Dean is always right there. Oh, Seth and Roman, you guys keep feuding. I'm always right here. So
you know what I would love to see is Dean throwing Roman into a pile of thumbtacks.
That'd be sweet. That'd be sweet. So overall, I think the booking of the show was okay. I would have liked to see AJ win, but I think now we realize that Vince was just using AJ as all my guys are hurt. You are a stud, and they like you. Go out there. You're going to take 2 losses, but you're going to be in the main event picture for 5 months.
Yeah, but you were in that promotion that doesn't exist, so we're definitely not going to let you win. Because you have no experience, because your experience was in something that doesn't exist.
And he got the feud when Roman was guaranteed to not lose. No champion's going to lose their first feud as champion. It discredits them as the champion. And Vince, as we know,
unless you're Rey Mysterio, and you lose every match.
Right.
Whatever. Go ahead, sir.
No, just to build on your points, and then I think we should move on. I just to me, less is more. It's very simple. Have Charlotte and Natalya just do a plain wrestling match and have it be good, like
clean
it was a
finish.
Roadblock, and have Charlotte go over clean. No clear why on why Dana Brooke was there. How do Charlotte even know each other? We've never seen them on screen before at the same time. I guess maybe in NXT, but not in a long time. Like, why are they working together now? There's no clear why.
It made no sense. Yeah.
The thing I like about those Owens and Zayn feud is there is so many clear whys. There's 5 reasons why they can hate each other. It's seriously a perfect
feud. Yeah, they were best friends. Owens is a scumbag, so he turned on his best friend, and then also the club and AJ Styles thing. They turned on AJ Styles in Japan. Why is he cool with them now? It doesn't make any sense. Like, they are taking all the indie stuff from actually they kind of didn't, because I think Kevin Steen and El Generico broke up their friendship in Ring of Honor, but they were friends in NXT until but it's fine, whatever. Maybe they're gonna do the same fucking storyline with AJ in the club, which is the worst name ever.
So my favorite part was, and like you said to your point, Jim, about the guy needing a raise, who wrote the IC title feud.
Jim is holding up a poster of Finn Balor.
Yes,
for the audio people.
Is that the only reason that Zayn got distracted and wasn't in the ring is because his hatred for Kevin took over for him outside, and that's the reason why he wasn't in the ring to pin Cesaro. And that's just great storytelling, and there's so many reasons why they hate each other, and it just makes so much sense. Opposite of Dana Brooke.
Do exactly what you just said with Dean Ambrose, and make him say to Roman Reigns after he wins Money in the Bank, You've been given opportunity after opportunity in this company, and I'm sitting here, and the fans, and they know they support me. I go out there, I risk it on the line, and the authority would get in my way. Somebody would get in my way, and here you are, opportunity after opportunity. And then you make Dean legitimately jealous of Roman. You make Seth want to prove that he's better than Roman. You make Roman say, listen, I'm better than both of you. That's why I get the opportunities. And then you got something I want to watch.
Yep.
Right. Clear whys, clear motivations, clear whys to the point where we don't have to figure it out on a podcast. We just know it.
Yeah, exactly.
We just know why.
Put us out of business.
Hold on, time out. Remember when we said we're going to insert a line into the beginning of every show? Well, that was it, folks.
Yeah. Oh, God.
All right, let's head on to the next segment, which I can't wait to talk about.
You want to open it then, Jimbo?
All right, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
All right, here at Layeth the Mat Down, I proposed an idea to these two gentlemen, a couple of their buddies and two of my buddies, to start a fantasy wrestling league. And we have decided to go ahead with that plan. We had a draft, which we will cover shortly in a bit. We'll talk about some of the wrestlers that got drafted to our various teams. We'll talk about some of the fantasy owners, our relations to them, and some of the wrestlers on their teams. And we hope to give you updates every couple of weeks on the standings, on if we like using the website we chose to go with, and if we see this as something that maybe you and your friends should invest time in. And I'll go ahead and kick it off and say that we have used the website www.dropthebelt.com, and they offer a online draft system where you can draft your wrestlers to your team in a snake-style draft, or you can have a live draft like we did and have your commissioner input the wrestlers to those teams, and then they will go ahead and count points for you at the end of every SmackDown and Raw, total those points at the end of every pay-per-view, and they have a rolling total. Your team with the highest points at the end of the season is your champion. And so to kick off our season, Charlie, who is the real MVP of this thing, even though I provided the website, Charlie contacted the Squared Circle Restaurant and Bar downtown in Chicago, and they represented, or they gave us the opportunity to host a live WWE fantasy draft there.
Yep.
Go ahead. We then scheduled a live draft for 8 teams to meet at this bar. We decided to draft in a snake order. We did random draft selections. We decided on 7 rounds, so 7 wrestlers per team. And overall, I think it was a great experience. Charlie, I'll let you kind of tell the people about what's going on.
Yeah, so Jim, that was a fantastic introduction. I think it was definitely a cooperative effort between us two. Majority, but we did get 8 people to agree to it, and going to put the Squared Circle over once again. Thank you to Lee, the owner, for hosting us. Basically, we went in there on noon on a Sunday. We asked politely the waitress to put on NXT Dallas Takeover, and we had this fantasy draft. With every player that was selected, we put on their theme music, played off of a mini computer speaker that we had, and we just marked out for 3 hours, basically, drafting our teams, giving each other our opinions on people that are going to be pushed and whatnot. We were drinking, we were eating really good food that's really bad for you, but it makes it really good. And I had a blast. I mean, there was people there, our girlfriends who were there who really don't like wrestling, they were entertained by us, how excited we were. It was almost like your fantasy football draft with your boys, but times 5. So that was the atmosphere of it, and we had a big whiteboard. We were supposed to have an easel. No easel was brought to the Squared Circle.
Who was supposed to bring the easel?
The guy
who was supposed to bring the easel.
Who?
That easel guy's a real douche.
It was supposed to be Easel Mania, and the easel didn't show up. So I don't know. Easel Mania was not running wild in the Squared Circle, but it was fantastic. So I'm actually staring at the board right now in my humble abode in my apartment in Chicago, and it was kind of a collection of all different sorts of people, like us three. We had one person named Christian who has a website, Just Another Pro Wrestling Fan. Follow him on Twitter. He didn't really know any of us. I met him through a person I work with right now for my full-time job. And then also, Jim, can you tell us about the former wrestler that is gracing his presence in our league?
Yeah, for sure. So I got Ace Martino, also known as Martin Acevedo, to join the league. I do work with him. He is a PE teacher in the Frankfurt region. He decided to join the league. He's a good buddy of mine. He's wrestled in a couple of promotions on the south side and on the north side of the city. We hope to have Ace on the show one day to kind of give us his inside sight on what it's like to work in the business as an indie guy who mostly does it for fun. And he did do a really good job, and he's a really awesome human being, so it's no surprise to me that a couple of promotions chose him to be the champion of their promotion in some capacity, whether it's their IC champ, and then also wrestle some of the major guys. But to get back to what we were talking about, Martin Acevedo had the first pick. Yep. My friend Kevin Davis and his girlfriend, she'll kill me when she hears this if I didn't count her, Christina, as a co-owned team, had the second pick. Charlie, who I'm starting to not like that much because he's really giving me a run for my money here, had the third pick. Christian had the fourth pick.
Right.
Matt and Charlie's buddy Pat had the fifth pick, who drafted via phone. So his team is a little, it might be a little outdated, but actually as I'm looking at it, it's not that bad.
He's doing pretty good.
Doing pretty well. Yeah. And then we had Matt with the sixth pick, myself with the seventh, and then a good buddy of mine, Thomas, with the eighth and final pick. And I do want to read some of the team names that we have here. Charlie goes by Stinger Squadron since he's a Sting mark. Thomas is the Hover Asylum, since you can probably guess he has Dean Ambrose.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy Kevin and his girlfriend Christina combined their names into Kevin Steen.
Nice.
Pat's team
That's so perfect.
It's Mrs. Rooney's baby boy, which is a great. Ace Martino
Such
is
a
Ace
great
Martino. Rookie
Boring
Romero
name.
is Christian. Boring name. And then we have the Unicorns, which is I'll let you take one guess on whose team is the Unicorns.
I'm the biggest New Day mark of all time.
And then I recently changed my team name from Mark Proof Worldwide to Joey Ryan's Penis.
Bring back sleeves. Legalize sleeves.
When did you do that?
I changed it to Joey Ryan's Penis yesterday after I saw the clip of Joey Ryan's penis suplexing someone.
He's done it so many times. Joey Ryan's the best.
So,
YouPorn sponsored.
So there's a little.
Your other name was too long. So
Yeah, it was. I like Joey Ryan's Penis a lot more.
Oh, actually, guys, that reminds me. I was doing the Rob Van Dam thing. I actually saw a Rob Van Dam T-shirt on ProWrestlingTees.com. Shout out to them. The shirt said "Weed me more" instead of "Feed me more." I thought it was amazing.
Nice.
I might buy it.
All right. So
of course, I would never do weed though. That's illegal.
Right. So depends on where you are, but moving on. So I think we should run through. Let's just run through our teams and give each other just like a small, not spend 15 minutes on it, but just like a small breakdowns of like highlights of team where we think our team's going, etc.
All right, cool. Charlie, why don't you go ahead? Since spoiler alert, Charlie's in first place right now.
Tied for first place.
I'm tied for first, and SmackDown hasn't been counted yet. So we've only had one day. It started the Raw off their Extreme Rules, so we've only had one day to gather points. But my first overall pick scored me 26 points. He is a man represented on Jim's shirt as we speak. He is the prize fighter. He's my number third overall pick. I was so happy I got him, and it's Kevin Owens. So I see him carrying me throughout this entire season. That ends on SummerSlam, by the way. And I am so pleased that he fell right into my lap. He couldn't have been gift wrapped any more perfectly than it was. And it was a no-brainer. And After that, I chose Kofi. New Day rocks and is still on fire. So I got him in the second round. I took Aiden English in the third round. A little alarming that he wasn't on Raw and he's not on SmackDown that airs tomorrow. We'll see where the Vaudevillains go. I took Carl Anderson because he's new. And you'll see. Oh, go ahead.
I think that's who takes the belts off of New Day eventually. So I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, if you notice, look at my team. Like they're people who are wrestling like right now. Like they're being booked for matches right now. And that's the theme I was going with. I said, you know what? People get the most points by winning matches. Who's going to be in a lot of matches, hopefully upcoming? Who's probably going to go over at feuds at Extreme Rules and continue on? Carl Anderson won over at Extreme Rules and will probably continue to wrestle. And he's new. He's just got here, so it's not like he's going to get lost in the shuffle just yet. I chose Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, this was also a no-brainer because she was by far the best available and most active available by this time because now we're in the fifth round. This was before this Cody Rhodes news broke, so I took Stardust because I really like Stardust. And then
he's great.
And then I have since dropped him. And then my last pick was Bo Dallas because he's my favorite social outcast. We were scraping the bottom of the barrel here, and I have since dropped Bo Dallas and Stardust for the Dudleys, who scored me some points on Monday. And yeah, so that's my team. Heavy KO, a little bit of Kofi helping out here and there. Let's hope Becky Lynch gets into like a main feud, starts tearing shit up. Let's hope the Vaudevillains don't get lost in the shuffle.
Favorite wrestler on your team, not named Kevin Owens? Go.
I'm gonna go with Carl Anderson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go next because I'm not in last place like Jim.
It's 1 day. It's been 1 day.
Yeah.
I am second to last place. But I feel like my team is like not built to like do very well like right off the bat, but like towards SummerSlam I think I'll be doing okay. My first pick was Charlotte. It was risky, I'll admit that. But she's a champion. She cuts promos all the time. She is the woman, and to be the woman, you got to beat the woman. So that's why I picked her. Second, I picked Big E because obviously I love the New Day, and also because Big E put a couple of hoes in the ground. One of those hoes happened to be on Charlie's team, Aiden English, and
the other one's on mine.
What'd you say?
So the other hoe's on mine.
Yeah, yeah. And third, I picked. This pick broke Jim's heart, and it made me so happy. I picked right before Jim, and he was like so ready to play her music, but he couldn't do it because I did it first. Sasha Banks, and the reason I picked her is because the sky is the limit. Jim.
This is still Kiss from a Rose because I'm still depressed about it.
Jim threw all his papers in the air like he was Stan getting kicked in the face by Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
I hope you get that reference. Next, I picked Apollo Crews, which broke another person's heart. And I was Apollo Crews gave me 1 point. Charlotte gave me 1 point. Most of my points were from Big E. I got 25 points from Big E, which, I mean, it makes sense. He wins all the time. And then I started getting a little crazy with my picks. Next, I picked Triple H because my reason behind that is that I feel like he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back with a vengeance. Very upset. He's gonna be on Raw every week cutting promos. Right now, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but he will be back, and he will be cutting promos. And I feel like he's putting in like some of his best in-ring work of his career. So it'd be a waste not to use him on TV and pay-per-views. And then my last two picks were very daring. I picked Bayley because she lost her title, and she has to be coming up soon, and she is the most popular woman in NXT and probably will be the most popular woman in WWE history if either her or Sasha Banks will. And then lastly, I picked Samoa Joe because he has to be coming up soon. And I feel like he'll get an AJ Styles-like treatment.
Matt's team is currently ahead of mine, and I'm a little salty still.
By 1 point.
Yeah, by 1 point. By 1 point. But I'll try to make mine really quick.
Yep.
In the first round, kind of going on Charlie's strategy, I wanted Owens. I knew I wasn't going to get Owens. So wherever KO goes, Sami Zayn goes. And so whatever feud KO is in, Sami Zayn is in. And I don't think they like giving him that many losses, and I think he's going to follow Owens around, get plenty of promo time, hopefully maybe get himself an IC belt within the next 3 months. So with my first pick, I took the underdog from the underground, Sami Zayn. Then I moved along in the second round.
How many posters do you have?
Just 2, and they're both autographs, so fuck you guys. And in the second round, I made my greatest call, and that was taking Rusev, who went on to become the United States champion. He's probably my best. He's by far my best player, I think, as of right now. Then I got a little risky. I took Gotch, thinking that the Vaudevillains would get a push, which they did for a little while. Hopefully that push doesn't go completely away to what Charlie said. Then I took the ultimate risk and took the Demon Finn Balor in the fourth round, hoping that he gets called up before SummerSlam.
I don't think that's as big a risk as Samoa Joe, though. He's definitely in called up.
Yeah, I think that before SummerSlam, the club will turn on Styles. Balor will be revealed as a leader, and you guys can mark it here. Finn Balor wrestles AJ Styles at SummerSlam, and the internet explodes. It's going to happen, and Finn will go over AJ at this year's SummerSlam. Wow. Then we got what Charlie considers to be the potential steal of the draft. I took Primo, then Neville, if he comes back from his injury, and then Epico. And then having both of the shining stars, hopefully they can keep wrestling local talent before this brand split occurs, and I'll just keep stacking these W's, getting 15 points every time. It's giving me a hell of a reason to go to Puerto Rico, the shining star of the Caribbean.
I just want to point out that 3 of the 4 horsewomen are on Matt's team, and that is like the least that's the least surprising thing that I've heard this year in 2016. And yeah,
I love my horsewomen.
You do love your horsewomen, and yes, Primo and Epico. I'm still amazed. I don't remember the last time where they faced such jobbers. Such jobbers were on Raw to the point where the YouTube video was labeled "The Shining Stars versus Local Athletes."
That's so dumb. Dumb.
I was like, oh my god, these guys are never gonna lose. Primo and Epico are never gonna lose. They're beating they're no name. They don't even have names. Give the guys names.
Martine can tell us a good story. One day he was asked a job to Ryback, but then missed the call. He'll tell you that story when we get him on the podcast. All right, but then I just want to say that the team that scares me the most in this league is Thomas's team. He ended up with Dean Ambrose and Cesaro back-to-back, and I honestly do think Cesaro will be the IC champion, and then I do think Dean Ambrose wins Money in the Bank. And he also has Enzo, which he's not losing a match. Yeah. Kalisto, maybe. He's got an Uso, Tyler Breeze, and Fandango, but Ambrose, Cesaro, and Enzo could carry him crazy.
Right. That Ambrose and Cesaro is Workhorse City. They're always booked in a pay-per-view, and they're always in a match. I agree. Like, it's your guys' fault for letting Ambrose drop that much.
Yes,
so
yes it is. Yes, it is.
Both of your faults.
I drafted with my heart. I took Zayn over Ambrose, and I should not have.
Yeah, you should have taken Ambrose. I feel like Charlotte was a good pick on my part, though.
Yeah, it was. It was. All right, so just to conclude the fantasy segment, we'll keep you updated as the standings go along. Right now, like he said, Charlie's in first, Thomas in second. a bunch of jabronis in the middle, and then Matt in 7th and me in 8th.
We've only had one day. Nobody freak out. It's one day.
Yeah. All right. So next we're gonna go to the game segment, which will be trivia, and I will be asking the questions back to back to these two. And if one person gets it wrong, the other person can steal. So first, all right. I'll start with Charlie. Charlie.
Yes.
My question is, who did Hulk Hogan defeat to gain the WWF Championship and the main event of WrestleMania 9?
WrestleMania 9?
Yeah.
He defeated Yokozuna.
Yep. That's 1 point for Charlie.
We're one of the worst WrestleManias of all time, if not the worst.
Lots of them are going to actually be from WrestleMania 9 because that it's so bad, but it's so good because it's so bad. All right, Jim. Jim just dropped off. God damn it.
Did he?
Yes.
God. He's back.
Okay, Jim.
I'm back,
okay.
boys.
Okay, Jim. Okay, so another question about WrestleMania 9. Who did The Undertaker defeat at WrestleMania 9 for his least entertaining victory in his WrestleMania streak?
I got this. Is this for me?
Yeah.
Did Charlie get his first one right?
Yeah.
Is my answer the Giant Gonzalez?
Yes, correct.
Yes!
You're very excited. Okay.
I'm so excited.
Charlie.
I've been so excited for this.
Okay, Charlie. Let's see. So, all right. Is this quote from Ric Flair or from a rapper?
Okay.
I'm every woman's dream and every man's nightmare.
Shit. I'm every woman's dream and every man's nightmare. I want to say rapper.
That's incorrect.
Yeah! I should have been able to. Oh, no, well, we can't do this.
Oh, sorry. Fuck. I'm sorry. I fucked up.
Well, actually, it was either one or the other, so we couldn't steal that one.
Yeah, I'll get it. Yeah,
we couldn't
true.
steal that one.
True. All right.
This is my chance to hear, boys.
Okay.
Damn you, Ric Flair.
All right. Let's see. I'm trying to find a very difficult quote. Let's see. All right. So this is actually pretty simple. All right. I'm the greatest blank in the world today. Is that Ric Flair or is that a rapper?
I'm gonna say rapper.
Nope, it's Ric Flair. Rappers usually say I'm the greatest alive. Ric Flair said I'm the greatest wrestler in the world today.
All right, so it's 1-1.
Okay. Charlie. CM Punk has the longest world championship reign in the modern era. How long was his reign?
You know I'm not a numbers guy, Matthew.
I thought you were. I don't know.
It's over a year. 394.
No. Sorry. Damn it. You can't steal it.
All right, no steals. It's okay.
All right, 434.
Wow, that was long.
Yeah. I
Think
feel
about
bad.
that. Can you think about that? What if Roman breaks that just because Vince hates CM Punk?
No,
we have to go 440-some
sad.
days of Rome, and I'd cry.
No.
That'd be gross.
That won't happen.
Okay. I hope this isn't too easy, but Jim, Nikki Bella has the longest reign of the Divas Championship. How many days did she reign as Divas Champion? He doesn't know, does he?
Don't look it up. Don't you dare search that.
Hands are up. I'm gonna go ahead and say 375.
Nope. 301.
Damn. All right. So, do you have more questions?
Yeah. It's tied 1-1. All right. So, all right. Here's another WrestleMania 9 question. Crush was defeated by a wrestler and his, I guess, doppelganger is what I'll use. What wrestler was that in WrestleMania 9?
Doink?
Yes.
No!
Correct.
No way!
Oh,
How did he get that? How did he get that?
That was a shot in the dark. I just knew there was a mini doink. I knew there was a mini doink.
Oh man, that was
my
all right.
God.
Final question. If you get this right, we'll go to a tiebreaker.
Oh my God, I don't want to lose.
Right,
I can't believe Doink went over to WrestleMania. That's awesome.
He had two of them. He had two of himself. All right, so okay. This question is also WrestleMania 9 related.
I have my old wrestling knowledge before the Attitude Era is so bad.
Oh yeah. That's good for Charlie. But
yeah.
Charlie really knows his WrestleMania 9.
Yeah, because Charlie is like an old school / WCW guy, and I'm like a new school / Attitude Era guy.
Yeah. All right. So this question. All right. What tag team was defeated by the Steiner brothers in WrestleMania 9? And a hint, Rikishi was one of the members.
Bro. Oh my God. Give him the friggin' answer.
What do you mean give him the answer? I don't know. I don't know it still. You know this, Charlie?
I think so. I can picture him now because I know what old Rikishi looked like.
I didn't know anyone knew who old Rikishi looked. I didn't know what old Rikishi looked like.
I didn't even know old Rikishi existed.
Yeah, me neither. I thought that was hard. All right, whatever.
I'm gonna just. I got nothing. I don't know what was the name of the tag team. Charlie, you son of a.
What is it, Charlie?
You're giving up, Jim? Say something.
The Samoan. They wouldn't be Samoan. I don't know.
All right, Charlie, what is it?
Are you sure
you think it's so easy since I gave it away?
You're waving the white flag, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. So it's two things. It's either the head shrinkers or the wild Samoans.
Which one is it?
I'm gonna go with the head shrinkers.
Yeah, head shrinkers.
Oh.
How do you know stupid shit like that? Get out of here.
Yeah. Congratulations, Charlie.
Damn it.
Yeah, so you, Charlie, by winning this, you get the hot tag. Come in here and make your comeback.
I'm supposed to have
wait. Let me put 30 seconds on the clock. 1 second. All right. Sorry, guys. Alrighty. Charlie gets 30 seconds to talk about whatever he wants. 3, 2, 1, go.
So I'm going to give. I'm going. So I'm gonna give my hot tag to a man who has a special place in my heart now, and I now own one of his T-shirts, and that is Tommaso Ciampa. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep working your tail off. Keep coming back to AAW, All American Wrestling in local Chicago. And good luck. Actually, don't. I'm gonna get out of the habit of saying good luck. Make your own luck in the Cruiserweight series, and I want to see Tommaso Ciampa win it. I'm on his team. I want to see him in NXT more, and I think he's got what it takes to make it. So, right. The Psycho Killer.
Yes. All right.
I
love that song. All right. So, guys, that has been Layeth the Mat Down. Say your goodbyes.
All right,
Charlie, you go first since you won the hot tag.
This kid keeps blocking me at every
I get to go
goddamn
first again.
setting I can get. I'm just gonna sit here quietly.
I feel like I'm Jim's biggest nemesis all of a sudden. This has been my favorite episode of Lay the Mat Down so far. More to come. Please reach out to me at Chuck_Colorado on Twitter for your wrestling opinions, and just talk to me. And we can chat back and forth about our opinions and things like that. I'll hand it off to Jim.
I'm going to say I really enjoyed this show. Shout out to you two guys for making this happen. Thank you for allowing me to be part of the trio here. What once grew from one man's idea to two men has now grown into the three of us. I hope you guys have good weeks. I hope Charlie's wrestlers all tear their ACLs. No, I don't. Because
No, you don't.
I don't because
Kevin Owens is on his team.
I'm just saying that out of anger right now because Charlie's not only beating me in the fantasy league, but he's beating me in the hot tag today, and he's probably working on a project right now that's gonna beat me in life. So at the end of the day, Charlie is now deemed my enemy. Matt, we're cool. Until Sasha Banks comes back, and then every day that I have to watch Sasha Banks on TV, I'm going to picture you crushing my dreams.
You should have picked her in the second round.
Signing off is, I really should have. Signing off is Jim Welsh. Have a good day, everybody. Have a good night and week.
All right, guys. That has been Lay the Mat Down, and I'm very happy that I was able to steal Sasha Banks, a.k.a. Sasha Bay, from Jim Welsh. Fuck him. He's giving me a finger. Thanks for listening. Follow me at Fat Reed, fat spelled with 2 T's like Matt, and also follow at Layeth the Mat Down, or at Layeth the Mat. I don't even know my Twitter handle. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Happy Wine Day.
Charlie thinks I'm drunk. All right.
Got him.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Bye.